Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your second video. Today, you guys are going to learn about the area of parallelograms. Now, the format for area of parallelograms is actually going to be very similar to that of a rectangle because if you see over here on this parallelogram that we have a dotted line right here, right? I'm going to make it a solid line. So what would happen if we actually cut off this little triangle piece of this parallelogram and we moved it to the other side of the parallelogram? What would happen? It would form a rectangle. Did everybody see that? So now this piece is gone, and then this piece is right here. So it forms a little makeshift rectangle. And so that's why the formula is very similar in that you're only multiplying two numbers together. So let's get to our formula. The area formula for a parallelogram is going to be area equals base times height. And like I said, I'll write it in word form, and then underneath, I'll write it in variable form. So A equals B times H is our formula. And so when we're looking at parallelograms, the base, when you think base, you think bottom. So our base is always going to be on the bottom. And then our height, think about when you go to the doctor's office and you want to get measured for your height. Do you slouch over? Or do you lean up against the wall? No, you stand up tip-top as tall as you can. Sometimes some of you boys even spike your hair up a little bit so that you guys can get as tall as you can. And so our height is always going to be from the tippy tip bottom all the way up to the top, but it's going to be the straight side. Okay, so if we look down here, notice how all of my heights are typically pointing to this dotted line. Okay, still looking down, dotted line, dotted line. Now, what milestones and I may do is in one of these problems, we may add another number right here. And that's what's called our slant height because, oh, I don't know, it's slanted. That is not your real height. So anytime you see that number, you need to just exit out because that is not involved. Okay. Your area formula is still A equals base times height. And notice you only have two numbers that you're working with. So if there are three numbers in your problem, one of them's gots to go. Okay, and it's always going to be that slant height. All right, so let's try these first two, and then you guys are going to be responsible for the rest, okay? So area equals base times height. Well, I know my base is 13 times my height of 8. And if I work that out on my handy-dandy calculator, because Miss Bishop is not doing that in her head, 13 times 8 gives me an answer of 104. So 104 is my answer. But remember, we put it up here. 104 what? 104 centimeters. Who remembers that teeny tiny number that goes up in the top? Squared. 104 centimeters squared. Very good. All right, so let's do the second one. We start with A equals base times height. All right, and what is my base? I know my base is 11.5 times my height of 4. Now, I know some of you are like, oh my gosh, there's a decimal. Well, that's okay, because again, you have a handy-dandy calculator. So just plug in 11.5 times 4, and that gives you a final answer of 46. So 46, and what are my units? Centimeters squared. Okay? So that you guys are gonna finish the rest of this. Some of these bottom two problems are gonna be super easy because you did them yesterday and on Monday. So that's how you find the area of a parallelogram. That's gonna be Wednesday's homework is to complete these notes, and then Thursday's homework will be to do a page out of your workbook, and I'll have that posted all in the announcement for you. All right. Have a great day, guys. Bye.